Hello all, my name is Srinivas Ram Mekala. I am from IIM Trichy 2019-2021 batch. I am making this video as a part of submission for the Indian Economy and Policy. I have taken the topic in the recent news. Our credit rating agencies has put a negative rating for India T-bills as well as government security bonds. On that basis, the topic name is Will credit rating agencies downgrade India from negative to junk status further for FDI and FII investments? So let's see. So my agenda covers about. So I would like to bring a background about the credit rating and based on that credit rating, what implications can we have on an economy and how can we improve from a current rating to the how we can need not slip into the junk status. So let's see about background about how credit rating they give it. Unlike in our personal life, we also take our CIBIL rating. In CIBIL rating, you all aware about 700 to 900 plus. You will have the range. Then only you will get the loans. Say example, 700 if I get it, or some other person maybe 900 got the score I got it. So 700 considered as a almost very difficult to get a loans. Even if you get it, the person will get the almost 13 to 14 percentage loan interest will be there. Whereas a 900 plus guy, he may like to get 9 to 8 9 percentage. So that means there's almost 30 40 percentage difference in the interest rating. Similar lines, the government or Indian government bonds also has been rated now almost at just above the junk status. You can understand what I am trying to say it. So what does this mean to us? So how actually this rating has been done? So let us see it. So if these three agencies, Moody's, S&P, and Fitch, they have rated A to C. So it starts from AA and BE and CC and like that. So it is prime. If you go to maybe very attractive countries, they may have a prime, high grade, upper medium grade, lower grade. So we are at uh, BBB minus by almost all three agencies, including Nomura also. They are given a low medium grade. It is almost lower peg of the notch of the BAA3 it is there. What does this mean? Are we trying to say that this is because of COVID? They said no. The answer what it lies over there. If you see the last 20 years, we are almost hovering around the low medium grade only. From 2000 see BA2, so you say BA2 and BB plus and up to BB minus. So all these things are there is some meaning is there behind how it is they give the rating. Now let's touch up on the what is implications of credit rating. It directly impacts the credit worthiness of the country. As I said, what does this mean? Whenever a country wanted to take World Bank loan or ADB bank loans for the development, it sees about the what is our credit worthiness. Secondly, it also impacts about the FIS FDIs. Example, you take it in recently US and China when the trade war is going. So many companies were scouting for the new country. So many companies are moved to Vietnam, Indonesia. That means for what? We are lost actually the development, potential development, a low growth, a low job creations, which is indirectly hampering due to credit rating. Third thing is about whenever the credit rating is downgraded, it becomes very costly for a government to raise the funds as well as our companies to raise the funds. It directly impacts about the cost of credit. The cost of credit when it goes higher, then it goes on the goods cost impacted, automatically goes up for the inflation also. All the things as I said, the weaker economic growth and worsening fiscal health is undermining the government able to pay back, and it becomes very difficult to manage the risk and higher chances of defaulting can happen. Hence, it is important to maintain the credit rating on the upper level, upper notch level. So we wanted to see the root causes and what are the improvement areas. So let us touch upon the root causes. Yes, the details are first main reason is the widening fiscal deficit. As we are aware about we are facing a long drawn problem fiscal deficit. 2013 in Government of India to control this as a comes with the FRBM Act with the percentage of 3% as a target. We never met a 3% target. In fact, this year we have taken as a 3.5 percentage, but due to COVID, it is almost touching up 11 percentage. So maybe post COVID, we may go for the around 4 percentage. That is outlook what this credit rating agency has taken. At the same time, the government increasing debt. So over the years, we have taken actually 60 percentage only. Almost government debt has been taken. Now recently it has been moved to 81 percentage. With this Atmanirbhar 1 and 2 and 3, this may go further or 85, 83, 86 percentage also it can go. So what does this mean? If you go for the debt increases, so our interest payments also will increase. Third, so having said this, we have a double whammy effect. Since almost 2017 onwards, there is no major economic reforms. At the same time, there is a GDP is falling down further every quarter and every quarter. So there is no revival. We could able to see it. Having seen these three things, further to that, there is also increasing NPAs in banking systems. Our financial systems have been totally strained out. You can see that a recent issue of the NBFC's issue. Also, the PMC Bank has collapsing issue, and S Bank collapsing issue, and reducing exports and falling global competitive rank. We have fallen. All these three things has been taken a reference, and these three agencies are saying that India has been almost come to a lowest rating for the no more darling for investors. Though we have got a low rating, a negative rating, still we can avoid the junk status further to drag. There are six points of actions we can take. One, India can focus on how fast we can reduce fiscal deficit by bringing more people into the tax net so that we can increase our revenue. At the same time, how fast we can decrease our expenses, especially non-developmental expenses, focusing on the how fast we can do austerity measures can be implemented. It's more important to bring this fiscal deposit at least next 5 years or next 5 to 6 years at 4% level. Currently, due to COVID, it may go for 4% plus or 5 plus or 6% plus. Maybe. Second point, maintaining high growth rate. To be on the safer side, we all should have to try to make how fast we can bring the growth rate at 8 to 9 percentage as we used to earlier by improving the business environment, by making our institutions stronger, more robust. Second, to make our labor reforms more contemporary and to make privatize the banks and create more jobs. More jobs create for our women like in Japan, Korea, and China, so that we can have more incomes, more savings there, so that GDP can improve. At the same time, we should uh, leave this populist schemes such as subsidies and all, and more funding towards developmental funds. Third point, I would like to bring up on saying that since 2016 or 17 onwards, we don't have any major economic reforms. Maybe that is one point which they are taking one concern, which Moody's indicated. Fourth, encourage export business. Though we are good measures are the export business, still there is a room for increasing our export business to make more economic trade blocks. Fifth, how fast we can control the NPAs, and how can you take our stress on the financial sector. We all can see that how our no, increasing trend of NPS are pulling our government. As government is controlled many PSUs, government is recapitalizing, lot of money is getting drained away. Finally, how fast we can improve our competitive global competitive index rank, which you are all aware about. 68 rank has been fall down to we had 61 rank, it's fall down to 68, which is worrisome. All these are become an actors to make us pull into the negative ratings, lower grades of growth and all. Hence, if these six areas we increase our focus, we can avoid junk status, we can move forward, make a growth story. Thank you very much. Thank you.